Hello, I am the next guest. My name is Ray McKinnon on the show On the Screen and I believe Beyond.
On Screen and Beyond, an inside look into the entertainment world featuring interviews with people from the movie, TV, and music industry. And now, here's the host of On Screen and Beyond, Brian Zemrak.
Here I am, here you are, and it's time for another edition of On Screen and Beyond. I'm your host, Brian Zemrak, and this is the show that brings you a celebrity guest each week from the movie, TV, or music industry as they take us on their journey and what they're up to now as far as their movies, shows, songs, whatever. It's all here on Screen and Beyond. This week, our guest is Ray McKinnon, who you have seen in so many movies and TV shows, including Rectify, Fear the Walking Dead, Deadwood, and so much more. A lot of things he's been in. It's just way too many to talk about. But we're going to get him on in a few minutes right here at On Screen and Beyond. As always, please subscribe to whatever podcast platform you get us from, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Alexa, Podbeam, or on Spotify for audio. Or if you are into the video portion, you can catch us with the video version on Spotify and on YouTube. So be sure to check it out. Subscribe to whatever podcast provider or wherever you're getting it on YouTube, whatever, so you can get it every time we immediately come out. It just immediately will be sent to you. It doesn't cost anything, and you get things, don't have to look for it. Be sure to follow us on, On Screen and Beyond on Instagram and Facebook. And I think it's time. Ray McKinnon is ready to chat with us. So let's get into it. Ray McKinnon next, right here on Screen and Beyond. Today on Screen and Beyond, we have seen our guest on Apollo 13, The Client, Rectify, Deadwood, The Blind Side, Dolphin Tale, Sons of Anarchy, Fear
God.
the Walking Dead, Ford versus Ferrari, Mayans MC, and so much more. His 2007 film Randy and the Mob, which he wrote and directed and stars in alongside with Walton Goggins, was also produced by Goggins and has been released now, or is going to be released on Blu Ray for the first time on April 7th, along with The Accountant, the Oscar winning short that they did. And he also wrote and directed and produced that one alongside Walton Goggins. And it stars both of them. It's Ray McKinnon. Ray, welcome to On Screen and Beyond.
Hello, Brian. Good to be here, brother.
Yeah, I'm looking at your credits, and like I said, I just did a little tiny bit there. It's
I'm
unreal.
I'm as shocked as you are. Let's put it that way. My gosh.
And I usually, when I do an introduction, I go through the credits and I say, okay, well, this is a popular one. That's another one here. But with you, it's like, okay, which one am I going to pick?
Well, I'm very lucky. I'm very fortunate, and obviously I'm not discriminating. I'm a part journeyman actor and part writer, creator of indie film, and I've gotten to do both my career, and I just feel extraordinarily fortunate, really.
I've said this many times on the show over the past 19 years, but I'm not saying anything bad about all the big Hollywood, produced movies and the things. But if you want to see a really good film, go to a film festival and you'll see all these fascinating films. Like you say, the indie films, they can be great, but they just don't get the push like the studios got. They don't get that money.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true. And I still go to film festivals and you'll see some gems that you're not going to see in the regular theater. And I think if you do love film and like film, go to these festivals because it's a communal event that people come together because of that commonality and you get to meet a lot of interesting people and yeah, um, long live film.
Oh yeah, and like we were talking before we got on the air, people should go see films in theaters because it's the experience is just so much different.
It is. Of course, I've got a big screen television with great sound too, and I watch films that way, and it's better than when I was growing up and you had the little boob tube and you had to do your little dial to keep the fuzz from being tolerable. But there is something different about us as as the human species coming together to watch something, whether it be a play or a film that's different, and there's an energy that we all have together. It's like watching a basketball game on TV versus watching it live. I mean, it's a whole nother thing.
Hmm.
And I'm gratified that young people who grew up in the world of big screen televisions and great sound are still wanting to get out and go see film.
You've done so much. You've done big, huge shows and movies and things, but you've also done a lot of independent films, and that brings us to Randy and the Mob. And I almost called you Randy when when I introduced you. I don't know. After watching the film, it was like, okay, I got remember it's Ray, it's not Randy. But
Randy was the side of me that has made a lot of mistakes in his life, but I just tease that side out a lot for Randy. Yeah.
but but that film is that's one of those films that people should see, but they don't get to see it that much because it wasn't a big Hollywood, produced and all the money behind it to get it out there. But it was a great film, and I got to tell you that scene, and you're going to know how I my humor is. The scene where you are at the dump talking on the phone with the
Oh
mom
Lord.
cracked
Yes.
me up.
I'm glad that was the point. I mean, I'm glad I was younger then. I'll say that because that was one long run into a pile of uh, used diapers. Uh,
Yes.
no, I'm glad to hear you say that. Randy the Mob's it's very much a humane and it's a PG film. It's not even G, I don't think. It's almost like a fable. And it was, it's something my grandmother could have seen had she still been around. And that there's not a lot of films these days that she could or would go see.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. But
so
but it had heart. I mean, it was humorous. It was a well-written story and everything, but there was a heart behind it and funny. It's
well, and heart matters, and yeah, I'm glad that you saw that and experienced that. And I think for me, doing independent film, and you're having to raise money and get people to invest in it, no matter how long the film has been out there, if there's an opportunity to bring attention to it and to continue my obligation to my investors, that's an aspect of what I'm doing right now. But I'm not asking people to go do something that I didn't like and still enjoy as a film. I mean, I make films that I would like. That's the only way I know how to gauge whether it's working or not is whether I like it or not. And of course, that's not for my taste and for everybody, but it is for somebody.
yeah. Our humor is the same, Ray. So
There you go. Good.
now, give the audience a an idea of what Randy and the Mob is about, because some may not have seen it. So it's like I say, it's the first time it's coming out on Blu Ray. So
Well, for some unknown reason, probably after too much caffeine, I got this idea of playing identical twins, and one would be a good old boy, and the other would be a gay man, and that's not unusual in the world of twins. That happens. I know real twins who are one's gay and one's straight, and I think it ultimately is about family and how family should overcome any differences. And and so that was the genesis of it. And I think, and strangely enough, when Randy and Cecil, the identical twins, when they became estranged, Cecil was always a little smarter than Randy. And when Randy was on his own, he was more nervous because he didn't know this, but he really missed his brother's counsel and his guidance. And I think when they get together and you see how Randy actually relaxes a little bit, you know, subconsciously, and he relaxes. You understand that that's his identical twin. That's half an egg that was split in the womb. And, you know, it's still a comedy, but it's also the coming together of you know, brothers of two sides to one egg. And that's what you know, that's what I like about what happens. And in addition to, you know, all the shenanigans.
Now, one thing, I mean, I can never understand how a person, an actor, could do two different roles in the same film because they're so different yet so alike.
Yes.
And you know, I mean, is it difficult to you know switch back
Well,
and
yeah,
forth?
you know, when thinking back, you know, when I played Randy the first few days, and then I had to play Cecil, so I had to get, you know, change everything, and change and first we'd shot Randy's side of the scene, and fortunately Walt Goggins, Walton, he would do the off camera for each character. So he'd be off camera doing the lines of Cecil when I was playing Randy and vice versa. And he's such a good actor. You know, he really helped with both of those performances. But when I came on set for Cecil the first time, I'm like, boy, if I don't, you know, do this well, on people are going to go, why am I here helping him make this movie? So yeah, it's stressful, but you do your homework, you know, you as an actor, and you know, you know your craft, and you trust in it, and that's what happens.
Yeah. Now, is it hard, you know, when you're doing those two different roles? You know, is the director always, you know, telling you, no, 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 do this? Oh, wait a minute, you're the director. So,
That's right. I'm the Wait a minute, you're playing twins and you're the director. You're one thing about you, we know you're an egomaniac. Uh, no, I always say that, look, I never got great roles until I cast myself in my own movies. And I think, you know, again with Walton and Lisa, they were very helpful in that. If I was off track, they would let me know.
mhm,
Uh, but we'd worked it so much, you know, we didn't come in unprepared,
yeah.
when I say we, I mean all of us. And yeah, um,
Well,
that was a lot,
yeah, and
but a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm A. Martinez from Longmire, and I'm on Screen and Beyond.
every time I see you, and sometimes I don't even know it's you when you're on a show because you're such a chameleon. I mean, you know, one day you're a straight lace guy, another time you're a rough, tough guy, and you know,
Mhm.
Fear the Walking Dead. I'm looking at that one. You know, you were on what, a couple, two shows on there, Fear the Walking Dead,
Yes, yeah, yeah.
and your character, even in just two shows, is so memorable.
That's
It's you know,
awesome.
you do such a great job in any role you're doing.
Well, look, a character actor, you know, that's what, if we're lucky enough, we get to do all these different kinds of characters. I played this sociopath head of a hillbilly mob family in an indie film called Violent Ends, and this guy had no shame, no guilt, no remorse, and for about 5 days, I had the most fun living without guilt, shame, and remorse that I have in my own life, you know, raised as a Baptist and all that. And I got to play this guy who just didn't give a damn, you know, and he was fun. He was fun, but dangerous. And so I got to, you know, I got to experience, that's part of the fun of acting, is to pretend like you're that person, you know, and you find whatever's in you that, you know, is a little disturbed, and you try to pull it out of there and give it to the character.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a look. man, I got to do what I want to do, and I'm still getting to do that. And there's not a day goes by I don't realize how
Now, no,
fortunate I am for sure.
no. What got you and Walton together to form
Oh
this
my
company
gosh.
that you? I mean, you guys been working together for quite a while. Quite a long time, right?
Yeah, we haven't in a long time because, well, Walt's too busy. He's a, but it started out. He was 15, and I think I was, 28 or something, and I was playing this character called Lyle's father. I didn't even have a name in this made-for-TV movie. My character was Lyle's father, and then this kid came up who was Lyle, and it was Walt. And I looked at him. We were doing a reading of the screenplay, and I looked at him and said, "They're going to fire me because I don't look anything like Walt, and I don't think they'll believe I'm his father." And since I'm playing Lyle's father and he's playing Lyle, he had the bigger role. So I said, "Buddy, nice to meet you. Would you mind sitting over there on the other side of the room?" He's like, "Okay." He didn't understand why, but that's where we met. And then I played Lyle's father. And then we did a Heat of the Night episode together where I'm the head crack dealer and he's my little gopher. And that's how we started out knowing each other. And then later, he'd grown up some. He was in his mid to late 20s, and I was read him my short film, The Accountant, and he said, "I want to be a part of this, man. I want to." And so I said, "Okay." I didn't think he'd want to play a role in it because he's already doing The Shield. He's already had a regular TV role, and then he was so good at it, so good at helping me that I said, "Buddy, you got to be a producer on this." And so with Lisa Blunt, he and we three were, that was us. That we formed that company. Had some great, made some lovely films and had some really great times, and we're still buddies. And you know,
Any chance you guys will work together again sometime?
you never know. I mean, honestly, you never know. I mean, he's really having his time right now, and he's got a lot of big, I mean, mind-boggling stuff, that he's got going on, and he's seizing the day. He's making hay while the sun is high, and
Yep.
and I'm really proud of him for sure.
Now that you mentioned The Accountant, uh, it's short film. You won an Academy Award, so that's
Sharky,
that's
yeah,
pretty
very.
impressive. But personally, I have a problem with shorts.
Mhm.
They bother me because I want to see more. I mean, I watch it and it's like, don't leave me hanging here. The-
Well, well, yeah. Or sometimes I watch short and said that wasn't short enough. But um, I tried to make feature length, and I just couldn't raise the money. And
Mhm.
and I said, well, you know what? I'm going to make a short. I'm going to at least make a film. And that's what led me to making this. But this particular short, The Accountant, was 38 minutes and 36 seconds long. So it's a pretty long, it's what I'd call a medium.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
you know, and in fact, we weren't even thinking about the Academy and the Oscars and all that. But if our movie had been 2 more minutes, we couldn't have qualified. We'd have been too long.
Ah.
And it just happened to be 38 minutes and 36 seconds. 40 minutes are over and you can't qualify. And that wasn't our mission. Our mission was just to make a movie and hope that it didn't suck. And so yeah, I think but it had to be that long in my mind to have an impact because it's hard to have an impact, an emotional impact, or even an intellectual impact without the audience having enough time for that to happen.
Hmm.
And so that's what we made a medium.
Yeah. And when I say I hate that shorts, it's not, because of the
No,
fact
of
that
course
I
not.
don't
No,
like them,
it's
but it's
it's
just, it's maddening because you get into the characters or the story or something, and then it's like, no, no, tell me more.
that's good. No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
good.
that's the good thing, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the accountant, I think it was the right length for the story.
Oh yeah.
And but it wasn't that the difference between 38 minutes and say 10 minutes or 7 minutes is huge. as far as telling a story.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
I don't
so
know how anybody could tell a even a part of a story in 7 to 10 minutes. I mean,
yeah,
it's just,
it's a
but they,
specific kind of yeah, it's a specific kind of thing for sure.
Mhm.
But I can't do that. I like to talk too much. So
Well, I got to tell you, showing an Oscar that you've won tells that you've done the right thing because it worked out.
it did. Look, when that happened for us and I thought, oh my God, now do I have to become a citizen? Do I have to start acting right? Like I've tried my whole life. I don't think I can do it, but yeah,
But you guys
it
must have been
was.
over the moon when you
Oh
found
my
out you
gosh, it
won.
was surreal. It was real very it was surreal and I mean on the night uh we were there and before it was announced, I literally thought I was going to throw up. I was so nervous. I was like, "Oh, this is why people throw up. I can't throw up on the red carpet of the Kodak building. Don't throw up, Ray. Just whatever you do, don't throw up."
That's a good
But
that's a good trivia question. Has anybody ever done
no
that?
doubt. Somebody backstage must have just hurled. Uh, but yeah, that was quite the night. Walt and I had this clothing company, Armani, they loaned us the tuxes, right?
Mhm.
And because it was a short film. And so after it was over, we went to take back our tuxes to Armani in Beverly Hills, and they saw us and they're like, "No, go, you keep the suit."
Nice.
I think had we not won, they would have taken the suit back. So
Yeah.
we were very, very lucky for sure.
Hi, I'm Linda Gray on Screen and Beyond.
Well, I know we're getting low on time here, but I want to finish up with one question. Well,
Hmm.
two actually. One real quick one here. Do you have any projects that you can let us know about that it's in the works, or any shows that you're going to be in? I know there's one that I noticed that you are going to be in, but is there anything you can tell us?
What is it? Nobody told me.
Prison Break?
Oh yeah, I'm kidding. Yes, no, first of all, I'm doing such a lovely character on Prison Break that my friend Elgin James, who, was co-creator of the Mayans and that I also was on that he brought me into this and gave me this lovely character. So, and then Jeff Nichols, who's a wonderful filmmaker, he made Mud, he made he's just made, look at his resume. He's a wonderful filmmaker. This is my third film with him. He's bringing me into that, and then I'm doing a television show with another friend who's the one of the EPs on this show called Lowdown that's going on. So my friends have been very good to me, and so I'm writing a play right now that I'm excited about, and
A busy
life
guy.
life
Yeah.
life is a box of chocolates, man. I mean, it really is, and I got some good pieces right now, and I'm gonna enjoy it while I got the box
Yeah.
open.
Well, Ray, final question. When you
Yes,
sit
sir.
back and relax, what's your favorite TV shows now and of the past, and what's your favorite movies now and of the past? What do you
Oh
enjoy
my
watching?
God. Um. Oh Lord. Okay, so I'm gonna say now, and it's already dated
Right.
because, but I'd say one that of the because you binge a show maybe 5 years after it was made,
Hmm.
and that show is Happy Valley. It's a small town story set in Britain that's just brilliant acting and great writing. Uh, what I tell you, I thought this movie should have been way better received, and it's Jeff Nichols' movie, The Bike Riders. It was out last year, and I can't think of anybody's name, of course, but that was my favorite movie of that year. I went to see Sinners. I had no idea what it was going to be about. Uh, I started watching, I said, oh my gosh, I've seen this movie before. But no, I hadn't. It was like, oh my God, that was a surprise. Um, oh my gosh, favorite old movies, The Unbearable Lightness of Being. Oh, favorite older TV show, The Sopranos, Mad Men.
What about when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, oh my gosh, we had three television state ABC. Well, we didn't have ABC. We had CBS and NBC, and then we got ABC later. But all of those sitcoms of that era, All in the Family and Maude and the Jeffersons and Red Fox, all those were. I mean, from a little kid in a little town in South Georgia, it was kind of eye-opening to see, this comic version of another life. Uh, certainly. Mean Streets. Uh, I saw The Godfather when I was 11 years old, my best friend's dad and him and I mean, and then TNT was started. They bought all those. Ted Turner bought all those old movies, and this is before anybody had done this. And I'm watching in South Georgia. Uh, Maybe at that age I was a teenager and I might have smoked a little pot or had a beer. And I watched movie after movie with Edward G. Robinson, Humphrey Bogart, Cary Grant, Betty Davis, all those great old movies that we'd never seen before.
Hmm.
And I probably watched a few hundred of those back in that time.
Yeah. Well, Ray, I cannot thank you enough for taking your time and sharing with us. And I wish you good luck with Randy and the Mob. Excuse me, coming out on April 7th. Everybody should be looking for it. It's a funny movie, and it's a good film to catch up on.
Thank you, Brian. That's very kind of you to say and kind of you to have me today. I appreciate it, brother. Good luck.
There he is, Ray McKinnon. So many things he's done. He's been in, he's directed, he writes, he creates. So much he does, and a very talented guy. Be sure to check out Randy and the Mob on Blu Ray on April 7th, and also includes the short, which won an Academy Award, The Accountant. And they both also star Walton Goggins, who many of you know for his role in The White Lotus and so much more. Right now, he's just he's in everything. He's just a very busy guy. So be sure to check that out. And also, it's time to move on and get ready for another show. So I hope you'll be joining me each week and every week as they come your way. Please subscribe to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, YouTube, or wherever you catch the show, and follow us and share our posts when I post something up on Facebook or Instagram. And it'll help get your friends to learn more about the show and hear all of our fascinating guests that we have. It's a lot of fun talking with them. And that's a wrap for this episode of On Screen and Beyond. So until next time, when I once again take you on screen and beyond, I'm Brian Zemrak. Take care.